Hi everyone, my name is Kartik and my channel is about mental models. Recently I had a mini-series on systems thinking, and in that mini-series I had a video on equilibrium. Please check it out if you haven't done so. The link is also in the description below. During that video I said I would do a video separately to the mini-series on how to assess equilibrium of an organisational system. This is that video. The idea of this model is to help guide change or assess the equilibrium of an organisation's system. In order to do that, we need to draw a radar chart. And the radar chart has three axes called management, work, and culture. Looks a bit like this. And we number them 1 to 5. Something like that. I like to call the vertical one culture, the one on the left I like to call work, and the one on the right I like to call management. Each of these axes represent a system, so the vertical one is the culture system, and this model assesses the fit amongst these three organisational systems. The scales for each of these axes, as I said, is 1 to 5, but the meanings for those are, for the work system, 1 is routine work, which is simply routine tasks, which are simple tasks that are easy to master, whereas 5 is complex tasks, such as ones that are challenging or ambitious or complicated projects. Management systems represent the forms of decision making, leadership style, or organisational structure, from number 1 being autocratic to 5 being interactive. And finally, the culture system, which affects motivation, empowerment, and work ethic, goes from disengaged, number 1, to number 5 being engaged. As you can imagine, what you would ideally like to see is a triangle which is 5 on each axis. So something like that. Something like that. That's what you would ideally like to see. A triangle which is at 5 on each axis. I'll just quickly mark it here, 5, 5, 5. This would be the best case, where all three systems support each other equally and are in harmony. My axes are a little bit skewed, but this is meant to be an equilateral triangle. Harmony and support is achieved by having an equilateral triangle. If your triangle is smaller, such as, let's say it's at 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3 here. So if your triangle is smaller, and it looks like so, it's got a 3 rating, then this also shows a system in equilibrium, because all three systems support each other equally and are in harmony. So these are both systems in equilibrium. Now, in this scenario, in the smaller triangle scenario, in the orange triangle, The next thing would be to engage workers more fully in the organisation's mission by increasing the size of the triangle. You want to get to a 555, it's at a 333, so you want to increase the size of the triangle. So you need to engage workers more fully in the organisation's mission to do that. And the best place to start to do that is on the work system, on the work axis. And you do that by adding more complexity to their role, or redefining tasks so that they are not as repetitive. Once that is expanding and that moves towards 3.5, 4, 4.5, towards the 5, the next step is to introduce participatory management practices, which may include reorganization or flattening the org structure to create a new structure. And through that, the other two systems, the culture and the management system, will also increase, and you will move closer to a 555 triangle. So these are showing systems in equilibrium. What if, however, the system is in disequilibrium, such as, let's say, it's 4 on both the work and management systems, so it's here, but it's 1 on culture, so this triangle only goes up to the 1. What if it's like that? Similarly, what if it's the opposite somewhat? What if it's 1 and 1 on the work and the management systems, but a 4 on culture? So it's a tall triangle. So this one's a flat triangle and that one's a tall triangle. For the flat triangle, for this one here, I'm going to call that flat triangle, and then this one I'm going to call tall triangle. For the flat triangle, managers must use empathy and inspiration to engage everyone in the process. Over time, with sustained persistence, the triangle will get taller, and the culture system, where it is a 1 at the moment, it will go to 2, 3, and go to a system which is towards equilibrium. And so that's how we get to an equilibrium state, and then we do what we do for the orange triangle. It's the same process afterwards. For the tall triangle, because the culture part of it is quite good, which we're working on both the work and the management systems, so it is actually the same techniques that are needed as an equilateral triangle. We start again with the work system by enriching people's job, and then again, similar to before, introduce participatory management practices, including reorganization and flattening the organizational structure. So that way it will move towards equilibrium, and if the triangle is then smaller, you carry on doing that to increase the size of the triangle. All three systems can have their challenges, and bringing about change can be difficult and or slow in an organization. But by drawing a meaningful snapshot, which is what this is meant to be, this radar chart is meant to be, by drawing a meaningful snapshot of current systems, you can diagnose the disparities amongst them. This is because this model is both prescriptive and diagnostic. So this model is both of these things. And therefore, once you see the source of disequilibrium, you can prescribe specific interventions and move closer to equilibrium. and so is this one. They're both equilibrium. And by bringing these three systems into equilibrium, the organisation will be better able to achieve its goals with a more satisfied workforce, which is definitely something worth striving for. And on that note, that is all for this video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please like, share and subscribe to my fledgling channel. It does help. And if you like this video, then check out these videos from the Systems Thinking mini-series flashing on screen now. And I will see you again in the next video with another mental model. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.